Industrial activity on the Moon introduces a new form of risk. Not political risk, physical risk. Unlike Earth, there is no atmosphere to absorb debris, no weather to slow particles, no natural erosion to correct mistakes. A collision at orbital velocity on the Moon does not dissipate. It persists. Dust plumes can travel kilometers. Micrometeoroid shielding can be compromised. Power grids can be disrupted. Therefore, industrialization requires structured spatial discipline. Operational zones are not territorial claims. They are safety frameworks. An operational zone defines a radius around active infrastructure, where movement is regulated. Not prohibited, regulated. This includes robotic mining fleets, transport vehicles, surface-to-orbit launch pads, habitat modules, processing facilities. Within a defined operational radius, traffic must be coordinated. This prevents accidental interference. It also reduces liability ambiguity. On Earth, we use air traffic control. Maritime corridors, pipeline exclusion zones. The Moon requires an equivalent system. Safety corridors would define transit routes between zones. These corridors would limit high-speed transport paths, define approved landing vectors, separate heavy industry from habitation clusters, and protect communication relays. Without corridor discipline, lunar expansion becomes chaotic. Chaotic expansion leads to accidents. Accidents in a vacuum environment are unforgiving. Operational zoning must also account for dust propagation. Lunar regolith is electrostatically reactive. When disturbed, it can adhere to surfaces, damage seals, and impair optics. Repeated industrial movement without zoning would degrade shared infrastructure. Therefore, zones must consider not only physical footprint but dust plume modeling. Another layer involves energy infrastructure. Solar arrays may extend over large surface areas. These cannot be casually traversed. Microwave or laser-based power transmission must have defined no-cross regions. Radiation protection corridors must protect habitation modules from direct exposure. Zoning is therefore multi-dimensional surface. Subsurface, orbital. Communication bandwidth, energy transmission. It is not a matter of drawing boundaries. It is a matter of mapping risk. To avoid conflict, operational zones must be registered transparently, declared in advance, digitally mapped. Publicly accessible. This reduces suspicion. It increases predictability. Most importantly, zones must remain conditional. Inactive zones cannot remain locked indefinitely. If infrastructure is decommissioned, the zone dissolves. This prevents long-term spatial monopolization. The Moon's surface area is vast, but high-value regions, polar ice zones, mineral concentrations, stable lava tubes, are finite. Structured zoning ensures that early actors do not unintentionally prevent later entrants. The principle is simple. Safety precedes expansion. Expansion without zoning is reckless. Overzoning without activity is stagnation. Balance lies in dynamic operational mapping, transparent, conditional, revocable. The Moon does not need borders. It needs corridors. It does not need sovereignty. It needs coordination. Industrial civilization is not defined by territory. It is defined by disciplined movement within shared space.